Good afternoon. Fairly typical situation here. Sunday night. Going to get into the workshop. This is my little tiny workshop. Get in here and start getting all these clamps off. A bit of Tazoic bench top that we've glued up. By doing stuff like this, it allows us to make that little bit of extra margin in the job before we've even started. And like doing little stuff like this on a Sunday night means Monday morning I can chuck all the pre-done panels straight into my ute on the job site. We can start installing them and it's just so much more efficient. Top of the morning to you dudes. It's pretty early and now back to the shed to do a little bit more prep work while the wife and everyone's asleep in there. We're going in here. It's the sunrise over there. Declampify what we did last night. Trying to get this thing glued together properly on this end. I take these clamps off and then essentially I'm just going to try and dock it to 2 meters so that we can transport it a little bit easier and get it to Dave's ready to turn it into some floating shelves and a desk. Got those coils off. Put tape on the bottom of these coils so that the glue doesn't rip up the timber when if it glues to it, it'll glue to the tape. I've got my big Makita 40 volt saw that can run on the rail that I'm just using because it's in the shed pretty much. Lock this up. Get this on the ground. A little bit of tomfoolery like this. Looks like the end of the timber here was just a little bit too not machined well enough to get a good tight lamination without us having to do anything to it. So we're going to lose 300 or 400 mil there, which really means we're only going to get one out of this, which sucks because there's a lot of timber there that we're not getting. But I think that's just the way it's going to go today. So heading to the job site now. Oh, one of my doors isn't open. Probably one of my back doors. Which is great. Typical day. Well, maybe not that typical. We're doing a smaller job today. We're putting in some floating shelves as we've been talking about in the other bits of the video in the workshop. And it's just showing you a typical morning doing this kind of stuff. So getting up reasonably early and getting things in the ute is probably one of the most frustrating parts of the day, in the sense of there's always just so much gear to organise for everything for a small job. It's the same amount of organising almost as a big job in terms of gear, because we just need everything to do a job like this. Cool to do them though, like good little bespoke timber jobs, put them in the mix. Yeah, definitely good, and low stress, decent money. The work's reasonably not too arduous, like it's not like framing up a whole house or pouring a slab. Yeah, I guess one of the other things while I'm in the car, what I do in the morning is I've probably for the last 6 months I make a fresh smoothie. It's just basically got veggies, berries, fruit, no milk or sugar or anything like that. It's just in a blender, so it's not juiced either, so it's got all the pulp in it. And I got that off a mate who's a tradie in Western Australia, and he reckoned it was a game changer having this every morning. And I reckon it's pretty good. Like, after you have this, you just feel so like fresh, and you've basically had almost a veggie requirement before you even get to work. So this couple of boiled eggs in my box over there that smash as well, which help basically just curb the hunger. Like, I used to smash massive smoko, massive lunch, just because I was probably a bit bored when I used to work for people, and also B, I think not having that protein in the morning, I just was like so hungry. I didn't have the fuel to keep going. So yeah, eggs, smoothie. Then we get to the job. We're running a little bit late, not too late, but a little bit. And Iden, my mature age apprentice, soon to be, very handy. He will be there now, or very soon, setting up, getting ready. And yeah, we'll probably show you a little bit of the technical side of putting these shelves in. Pretty easy, but there's a few little techniques that make it go well. Iden Sapensky's up there getting his point for where the stud is. And we do that by, we knew on the other side of this wall where we'd already fixed in some brackets so we could work out roughly where they were, but we're just using a little nail to find the stud center. We've got our lines, our layout lines here that we've set up off a laser. And yeah, basically we find the center of the stud by working out when we hit air and then going in halfway. And then we're going to plumb that line all the way down so that we can get to the next step, which will be putting rods in the wall. So it's only about 2 hours into the day, and as per usual, I'm on the road to go get something that we need. I mean, it's probably also because I want to do it, like where I want to get off the side. Make an excuse, but we do always, the kind of work we do, super hard to know everything that we need, because as we do a job, it just evolves and we need more and more stuff. So while I'm gone, Iden, who you met earlier, he's going to continue on, and I'm going to go grab more timber to make more shelves and some uniforms as well, and then yeah, get back to it. What are you doing there, Zelensky?
Varnishing the floating shelves. They've all been sanded and cut to width, and then we'll figure out our lengths shortly.
He's excited. These bolts are what we're using to fix into the studs to hang our floating shelves on. Cut the nut off to start with and taper the edge so that when it slides on, which we'll show later, we can slide on more easily. Diggity dog. So now we get a square, and I'm basically trying to get these in this direction. I want them up a little bit so that when the weight comes down on it, it'll sag it back down to level. So that's pretty perfect. I've got like a 4mm. Same on this one. And then I'm working on, it needs to be perfectly square coming off as well, so that when we slide our bench or our shelf on, she'll actually slide on there. So with these shelves, I've got one on up here, with the rods that we slide the shelf onto, we want to reverse camber these so that they go up. So I'm going to tap these up with a hammer so that they're actually sticking 10 mil up out of square with the wall, and we want it obviously perfectly square with the wall in this direction. The end of the day and I'm tired, man. Got those shelves in, decent day, got it done. Now I'm sitting in the shed on the laptop, living the dream. See you on the next video.